So note that I have the system because I am young and therefore can tolerate a lot of risk. I work in the financial industry and also I've been managing my own money for 8+ years. All of that is to say, this is actually not a beginner way to manage your paycheck flow. This, I'd say, is fairly advanced. If you want beginner videos on investing or banking setups, I will have that linked above. Also note that prior to my paycheck actually hitting my bank account, there are quite a few deductions that come out, which include my 401k deductions, Roth IRA deductions, HSA deductions, and of course taxes. If you don't know what any of those terms are, I will link a video about investing above. So before your direct deposit hits your bank account, you can actually choose usually what accounts they split into. So what some people will do is they'll put X amount into their checking account and then they'll put the remaining into a savings account. I actually don't do this, I don't know why, but I have all of my money go into one checking account. And that checking account is the Schwab Investor High Yield Checking Account. Now, a couple things, just like a minor thing to note about difference between savings and checkings, which is important here, is that a savings account has a higher interest rate that they pay you for keeping money there, but they have a limitations around how many times you can withdraw from the account in a month. So it's often not that great for daily usage. It's more for long-term savings. Most checking accounts for the past 10 years have had 0% interest paid out, but this one actually does. It's called a high yield checking account. It's minimal, it's 0.4%, but it's better than nothing, which is why I deposit my money there. This account actually has a bunch of other nice features, which includes ATM rebates. So they give you the money back for ATM fees around the world unlimitedly. Also, it has a $0 per month maintenance fee, as in they don't charge anything for maintaining the account with no minimum balance, which is awesome. So the reason why I'm really emphasizing that's awesome is because I used to have a Bank of America savings checking account, and it did not have a lot of these nice features. When I was a student, it was the easiest credit card for me to open, and so often you open a checking savings account with your credit or debit cards, and it was $0 maintenance fees as a student, but suddenly I got charged $12 a month for the checking account unless you direct deposit into it or maintain a monthly minimum, and $8 a month for the savings account unless you maintain a monthly minimum. In other words, it was just too complicated. I didn't want to deal with it, which is why I now am with Schwab. Okay, so now I have all of my money from my work pooled into this checking account. Where does that money go? So the first thing I usually need to pay is rent. And actually my flow is I put the rent money into a high yield savings account with Amex. The reason I do this is because it's a shared account with my partner who I live with, and so we split rent, and this way we can pool our rent together. And right now you get 2.5% interest, and it'll go higher as interest rates increase. Anyways, so I put it there, and then money actually gets pulled from there to pay my rent via this app or piece of software called Built. It's a fairly new startup. What they essentially do is give you points for rent. Next, ideally, we would prioritize investments. I actually do this on an ad hoc basis, as in I choose the amount based on how much I think I will have available for the next 2 weeks, as opposed to automatically pulling money from my checking account, although a lot of people who are more disciplined than me do that. But anyways, as I said earlier, I've already had some investments taken out via my 401k deduction, Roth IRA, as well as HSA, but I have a separate investment account with Schwab, and so I will pull from my checking account to that separate investment account on a bi-weekly basis. Next on my list is paying off credit, which includes both credit cards or any loans that you may have. You're going to be like, wow, you have a lot of credit. Is that not very dangerous? If I didn't pay it off in full all the time and knew that I was very financially responsible from doing this for 8 years, I would definitely not recommend having so much credit. But my payment flows next would be I pay off 4 credit cards. So I take from my checking account and I pay off my Amex, I pay off my Chase, and I pay off 2 Bank of America cards. And then finally, there's this thing called Buy Now, Pay Later. You've probably heard of it in terms of like Affirm or Afterpay, or when you go shopping online, it'll say like PayPal Pay in Full or something like that. What that allows you to do is split a payment up front. So if you had to pay $100 for like a jacket or something, you could split it into 4 payments of $25 over every 2 weeks. Some of the other ones allow you to split over other terms. So for example, let's say you're buying a table for $1,000, you can split it up to 12 months of X dollar payments instead. Obviously, you should only be using these services if you have the money already, it's already budgeted, and you're doing it for cash flow purposes and not to get yourself in more debt. But anyways, I do have some of those active right now, which include Affirm as well as PayPal, because I'm paying off all this expensive furniture. So I will pay that again from my checking account directly to those accounts. Okay, so that is my entire paycheck flow from getting my paycheck to where my paycheck goes. Now, one weird thing you might notice about mine is I actually don't keep cash in savings, or I don't like keep cash on hand very much at all. Again, that's because this is a system coming from someone who's like young and works in finance, and so I primarily invest my money, but more simple systems and more like foolproof systems for the vast majority of people include like a cash envelope system that maybe becomes a sinking fund savings system and then becomes a savings and investing system, etc. Again, I have a couple videos about more beginner-friendly topics in terms of investing and savings. I will link above. If you have any questions or comments, unless they are mean comments, you can leave them down below.